One time for the old times in the East Bay. It's a coach. This is our second of two here on this opening Monday night. Coming up, the Oakland Raiders, playing in likely their final home opener in the 5-1-0 as they host their division rivals, the Denver Broncos. I'll be back to make sense of this opening weekend at halftime, but first, we're out to the Bay Area. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, there will be time for reflection, certainly as the season goes on, but for what might be the final time in the East Bay, it is opening night of the NFL season here in Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, a new season finally here. We had the great one Thursday night. All sorts of intrigue in the games yesterday, and now we put a bow on this first weekend with a good one here tonight.
We do put a spotlight on key games, don't we? Even key nights. Thursday night has become a spotlight night. How about Sunday night? But there still is some magic to playing on Monday night, and these two teams are feeling it.
Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And off we go to wrap up a busy weekend of football. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Sutton is part of a good young receiving core for the Broncos. They liked Sutton enough last year. They traded away Demaryius Thomas, if you remember, halfway through the season. And Sutton, he responded. Rookie campaign, had over 700 yards, 42 catches for the man from Brenham, Texas, which is located halfway between Houston and Austin. And pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Flacco looks to throw, and he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
3rd down, Flacco from the gun. He's got a man, it's Sutton, that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 2nd down now, it's Lindsay, and he'll get this down only to the 18. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, second and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. We're scoreless after 1. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. One more time with Lindsey. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now. They'll try and run. Freeman. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
To throw it is Locke. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Derek Carr is set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his 6th season, 28 years of age, former second-round pick back in 2014, and a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft. He even contemplated maybe making a run at Kyler Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run. Here's Janovich, the fullback. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Passing play. Flacco. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Broncos push further out in front. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make the score 14-0. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, week 1 finally wrapping up here tonight, but more football coming your way Thursday night. It'll be the Buccaneers and Panthers in an early season NFC South battle in Charlotte. A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick first down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Martin re-signed with the Raiders May 1st after Isaiah Crowell went down with the Achilles injury. He's out for the year. But Martin now in his 2nd season in Oakland, 723 yards last year. His career numbers are so interesting. 6 seasons in Tampa prior to Oakland, 2 years of 1,400 yards, but then he never topped 500 the other 4 years due to injuries and other various issues. But now he says his full focus is on 2019. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Martin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
On 2nd down, Martin. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Doug Martin, 39 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Flacco will come to the line, 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Flacco from the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Flacco. A little check down to Lindsey. He showed off the athletic juke, but it didn't buy him a whole lot of real estate. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now Flacco. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. Flacco now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. He'll find Lindsey here. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have reached halftime here in the final game of opening weekend 2019. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it was the Rams who took their first step towards a Super Bowl return by claiming the victory. Jared Goff with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Phillip Rivers, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Mitchell Trubisky, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. In our game, it's the veteran quarterback Joe Flacco who's led the way. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Martin. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
What down? What inning? Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Again, it's Martin. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Bravo.
Here we go on 4th down with Carr. He gets it to Brown. Complete. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. Now Martin. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll try it, and now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
All right, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Setting up to throw, Flacco. The Sanders has got it, complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. No gain on the dump off at second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Cleveland Farrell in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Third and goal, Flacco. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Broncos push further out in front. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert. On third, trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
We play to win.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
On first down, right back to Lindsey. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Whoa, Flacco's going to throw. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown, Broncos. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Broncos capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
93. 90.
One final try now for Carr. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
The real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the Broncos, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here.